Sayulita Wellness, home of your inner peace.
All right, here we are, week 3 of your preparation for your healing retreat. So today we are going to practice setting intentions and preparing your mind. So now let's dive into what the psilocybin experience is actually like, how to prepare, how to navigate it with clarity and confidence so that you get the most out of this life-changing journey. Before we get into the experience itself, let's talk about preparation. First things first, no mind or mood altering substances or medications for at least 7 days leading up to the retreat, which also includes alcohol, tobacco, THC, CBD, and other mind or mood altering products. We do require this for at least 7 days before the retreat, which is really for your benefit to make you most sensitive to the mushroom medicine and plant medicine that we offer to have the biggest breakthrough and best success. So trust me, guests who are nervous about this process and tapering off medications start to feel so much better even before they attend the retreat itself. Sayulita is a place of healing. Just being in this beautiful environment, immersed in nature, surrounded by the supportive people, delicious fresh food, getting movement massages, all of those factors elevate your vibration and your frequency. We've seen people have breakthroughs at the retreat even before they touch the plant medicine because the environment is so powerful and supportive. So if you're worried at all, just know you're going to be supported every step of the journey. So leading up to your ceremony, you're going to follow an anti-inflammatory diet rich in fresh, delicious foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole food plant-based diet. This will support your body's natural detoxification pathways and help make you more sensitive to the mushroom experience. On the day of the ceremony itself, which is day 2 of the retreat, you're going to have a delicious breakfast and then you're going to skip the lunch this day. Instead, you'll have a beautiful sound healing, and the reason you'll skip lunch is that we don't want you to experience any sort of nausea or stomach discomfort during the mushroom ceremony. Just remember that if any mild nausea arises in the first 15 minutes of the ceremony, that it's natural, normal, and it will fade away as the journey progresses. So you'll be in a completely different state of consciousness after about the first 15 minutes of the experience. So the psilocybin journey and ceremony itself begins with an energetic cleanse. This is called smudging. It's a ritual where our shaman burns Palo Santo, sage, or copal to help cleanse the energy in both the room and also around you. So they'll cleanse your own energy field with this sacred act of smudging. Afterwards, you're going to lie in the soft, comfortable mat with a pillow, blanket, and silk eye mask, and you're going to relax into a deep sound healing and meditation. This journey itself is alone transformative. We've had guests who say that this experience is psychedelic even without taking the plant medicine yet. Then after that, you're going to be taken back to your nice comfortable room, lying on a soft mat after the sound healing, and that's when you'll be given your dose of psilocybin. It's going to be blended with some fresh lemon juice, which will help increase the absorption speed and the potency. So you're going to drink it at your own pace, and from there, you're going to lie down on your mat with your silk eye mask, and the trip is going to begin. Beautiful music guides you, and you'll have your trip sitter there with you the entire time to help you navigate your emotions, breathe, help walk you to the bathroom, and remind you to stay hydrated with water and electrolytes. Once you take the mushroom medicine, the effects come gradually, and I'm going to break it down into 3 phases. One is the onset. So you're going to start to feel yourself sinking inwards. This is when a little bit of nausea could arise. Some guests will describe it as sort of a body buzz or a wave of warmth throughout your body. The key here is patience. Everybody's experience unfolds at their own unique pace. Number 2 of the process is the breakdown. So this is really from the first hour to the next 4 hours of the experience. This is when the deep healing work happens. So I like to call this a spiritual vision quest into the heart of the universe inside of you. You may feel old emotions surfacing, memories, or you might just be having a deeply spiritual experience where you feel like you are seeing so many powerful universal truths and really experiencing just a huge awakening of expansion of your mind and preconceived notions of the world, of yourself. So this is definitely where the awakening part happens. It's important to lean into this process instead of resist it, and to really surrender to the mushroom medicine, allow it to heal you, allow it to work on those neural pathways and clean and clear those beliefs that are no longer serving you and your highest expression. The more you surrender, the deeper you really are able to go, and the more pleasant the experience is as well. So, towards the end of the last 4 hours, between the last 4 to 6 hours of the experience, this is where the real magic happens. You kind of get through that part that feels a little bit more scary or difficult, and you feel those huge emotional blocks have been lifted. That weight off your shoulders is no longer there. That tension you felt wherever you were holding it in your body seems to melt away, and you start to feel an overwhelming sense of love, of oneness, peace, clarity, of trust in your path and everything that has brought you until this moment. And this is really what I like to call the glow experience from the mushrooms, where you really start to feel like you have this beautiful light within you and you just want to share that with the world. So there's another part of the journey I want to talk to you about, and that is facing the unknown. You may have heard about this term called ego death. So what does that mean? It sounds scary, right? But really it's a profound part of the journey that is actually amazing, and it is a blessing if you experience it, because it is so liberating. It basically happens when an old version of who you thought you were, a belief, a fear, an identity, simply dissolves, and you see the true universal truth of who you are, this beautiful luminous soul and the light within you, and you are reminded of your true power and your true nature. And so this really feels like a death, but it should be called instead a rebirth, because that's really what's happening. You're born into that next version of who you are. It's like you're getting a total system upgrade. The mushrooms are working on your brain, your neural pathways. You feel old physical tensions dissolving, and you really feel like an upgraded version of yourself. Like you got a good charge and you are plugged into the socket and you feel very, very alive and well. So what is the role of our providers during this process? They are going to be supporting you every step of the way. You have the trip sitter with you the entire experience, there to help you get water, there to hold your hand, there to help walk you to the restroom if you need it. So all of those things are taken care of. There's really nothing for you to worry about. You are physically, emotionally, and spiritually safe the entire time. Our shaman Nirvana is there as well to check in on you, as well as our other facilitators. This is your journey, but you are never alone. So we give you all the space you need for your processing, but when you need people, we are there to support. So now, what happens after the trip? So once the trip starts to kind of wind down, you're going to have some dark chocolate and fruit to help you ground back down, come back into this reality, come back into your body. And then when you're ready, you can go and have a delicious gourmet dinner and dessert prepared so lovingly by our chef. And you might get to talk a little bit with the other guests about their experiences, but this is when the integration process happens. This is where you take what you've learned from your journey and begin to apply it to your life. So some helpful tips we have for this process are journaling. You're going to receive a beautiful journal at the beginning of the retreat where you can write down your intentions, your inspiration, and also your experience with the ceremony so that you don't forget, and you can carry that wisdom with you when it's still fresh after the ceremony. Number 2 is sharing. So of course you can talk to your fellow retreat guests about your experience, or of course work with our clinical psychologist in your aftercare sessions in the weeks following the retreat to integrate your journey. And I do encourage you to take at least a week or two after the retreat to really fully integrate the lessons of the journey before you schedule that aftercare, to give you some time just to sort of marinate in all the lessons and have them kind of work their way back into your life. Number 3 is community. So many of our guests like to stay connected after the retreat, exchanging information. We also have an amazing alumni support group that you can join and be a part of. So that is a wonderful place where you can continue to share your ongoing journey of healing and be supported in that process. So true transformation happens, of course, when we have these beautiful consciousness expanding experiences and then bring them back into our daily life. So that's why some of our guests like to come back for another experience, another retreat, and oftentimes when they do return, they bring a loved one or family member back with them so that their loved ones can have another experience, have their first experience themselves. And that's so important and amazing, and it's cool to see how the healing ripples out from one family member to another, to another, to another. So that's how the healing kind of magnifies and spreads. So at the end of the day, this retreat is all about you, your healing, your awakening, your freedom, your liberation. So the psilocybin is a gift. It helps us see ourselves more clearly, our patterns that are no longer serving us, and break free from old limitations. It also helps us step into the reality of love and really find our more true purpose if we're not already living that. So my final advice before you prepare for the retreat is to let go of expectations. Every journey is unique. No two trips are ever the same, even for the same person. You'll never have the same trip again. So number 2 is relax and trust the process and the providers. Our team has so much experience. They've been doing this for over a decade and have facilitated over 10,000 ceremonies. So you're in very good and safe hands. We also have a doctor on site to check your vitals before and after the ceremony to make sure you're completely medically safe. And allow your intention to really guide that journey as well. Number 3 is surrender to the experience. Stay open and curious. The deeper you go, the more healing and transformation you experience. If you have any questions before the retreat, feel free to reach out. Our team is here to support you every step of the way, and we cannot wait to welcome you for our retreat in paradise. It's going to be one of the most profound experiences of your entire life. Much love, Kaylee and the whole Sayulita team.